Hey guys, this is SamAttack4427 here, and welcome to another installment of WTPU, aka What the Pickup? Now, as you may recall, in the last episode of the show, I talked about some of the stuff that I bought over at Anime Syracuse back in 2013, which actually kickstarted this whole series on What the Pickup, where I showcase some of the stuff that I bought in this whole convention hall type style. So if you want to check that out, then go ahead and go to the last episode to see it for yourself. And yes, this is still a gimmick that's going on, so I won't stop until you go to the next episode. We good? Alright then, let's go ahead and get ready to do this. So of course, well over a year since after I've been to Anime Syracuse, I think I've been wanting to check out another con that's been going on for quite a while, but I was having a hard time trying to figure out which one, which wasn't until right around late 2014 when I heard of this con that's up in Syracuse entitled RetroGameCon, and I think I didn't know anything about it. In fact, I do know it was actually relatively new when I first heard about it, and I think the one thing that really got my interest in going to that con is when I heard that James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd, was going to be up there. So yeah, I think nevertheless I went up to that con, actually got a chance to meet with him, and I gotta say the con itself is really amazing. And in fact, I consider it as like one of my all-time favorites so far. So yeah. And of course, like I mentioned in the last episode, I did buy a few things while I was at that con, so it's not relatively big right at the moment, but we'll go ahead and get started with all this. Starting with, yes, to actually start off, I actually got this wonderful Sega Massacre t-shirt, and yeah, I think for quite a while I've been a big fan of James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd, and I actually got this wonderful t-shirt, and not to mention, I think one of his buddies that he was tagged along with, Kyle Justin, who also did the theme song to the Angry Video Game Nerd, as well as most of the music. I actually did get a chance to meet him in person, and he's a really nice guy. So yeah, I was kind enough to get this t-shirt while I got a chance to meet the two, and I gotta say it's really good. And not to mention, around the time that he was up at the con, pretty much well throughout the entire year, he was hosting screens of his movie Angry Video Game Nerd the movie, which in my opinion is really good. I really enjoyed it, and it's not just the t-shirt I got, but it's also that Angry Video Game Nerd poster that I currently have up in my room at this point. So yeah, and it was already pre-signed by James Rolfe himself. So, but yeah, nevertheless, so yeah, I think it was a great fun getting to meet the Angry Video Game Nerd, one of my favorite YouTube personalities. So yeah, I guess nothing wrong with that. So yeah, and of course the next bit of stuff that I got is that I got a bunch of Super Nintendo games. Now, yeah, I think as you guys may recall, I've been a collector to I think I'm now considered a collector of retro games. In fact, the Super Nintendo is the one thing that I got back in like 2013, but it's a really good console. I really like it. So yeah, I think with some of the games that I bought, I actually got 6 right here. So might as well show them off. I got Jurassic Park on the Super Nintendo, and I got Tasmania. I got Super Mario All-Stars, Daffy Duck the Marvin Missions, Wheel of Fortune Deluxe Edition, and finally I got Wayne's World. Now, so yeah, I think I guess if anything, I've actually gotten a pretty good set of games that I got to my Super Nintendo library. So So yeah, I've been really big for some Super Nintendo games for quite a while, though I've been wanting to get some of the other consoles as well, like of course the NES, N64, GameCube, all of the PlayStation consoles, and of course some of the Xbox titles, as well as a few Sega consoles as well. But I think the Super Nintendo is what I got, and some of the games that I got were actually pretty interesting, while others, they're pretty obscure. Alright, and not to mention, I did get a little bit of something for my dad. I actually got this Wii game, which is on Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, and this was actually a really interesting title, because my mom's been asking me if I can buy this for my dad, so I figure, yeah, why not? So yeah, nevertheless, I think we haven't tried this game out, but it's actually a pretty interesting title, whether you're a big Star Wars fan or not, and it's even got some pretty good reviews, calling it as one of the best video games that has been showcased over at E3 back in 2010. So yeah, this was this is actually a pretty interesting title to check out, and yeah, and how could you go wrong with Star Wars? No, really, how could you? So yeah, I guess that takes care of that. And the final thing that I got while I was at the con is, of course, I got the traditional program book. So yeah, I think the program book itself is rather small in particular, but I think it's well worth. I think it was well worth it to having in my collection of some of the program books I got at local cons. So, but yeah, I guess if anything, I think this was again, it's rather small, but hey, what can you do? So yeah, I guess once again, this is a rather short, but yeah, that takes care of all the stuff that I bought while I was at RetroGameCon. So yeah, and some of the stuff that I bought at that con were actually pretty interesting. So yeah, I really can't wait to keep on coming back to RetroGameCon until they're pretty much dead right at the moment. But I highly doubt that'll ever happen. But nevertheless, it's still considered one of my all-time favorite cons so far. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of What the Pickup. If you have any constructive criticisms or advice on how I can improve my videos in the near future, then feel free to leave them in the comment box below. And of course, excuse me for a second. If you want to book, if you have any questions for me, or if you want to book me for a con or event that's coming up, then feel free to send me an email to this email address, backley95@hotmail.com. And of course, if you want to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos in the near future, then feel free to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, my Blogspot site, and Pinterest. And of course, if you want to see more of my videos coming up in the near future, then feel free to hit that subscribe button. All the links are in the description box below. So yeah, guys, I was really impressed with the stuff I got at RetroGameCon, and I was really proud to showcase them to you right about now. So yeah, nevertheless, thank you so much for watching this episode of What the Pickup, and stay tuned for next time, because I'm about to cover some of the stuff I bought that I got while it was at a con that is being considered as one of the biggest cons that I've ever been to. Take care.